Listen up, guys. Most wholesalers actually suck at wholesaling real estate. Listen, in this video, I'm going to walk you through the top 10 reasons why most wholesalers suck at wholesaling, and I'm going to show you how to avoid the most common pitfalls while wholesaling real estate so you can be wildly successful. So listen, before I get started, do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and I will continue to keep bringing you great content like this. Let's dive in it. You're right. A lot of you suck at wholesaling real estate, and I'm going to tell you the top 10 reasons why and how we can correct it. So let's dive into it. Listen, first and foremost, and I try to do these in order of importance, but in reality, it doesn't really matter. So number 10, authenticity. The reason why most wholesalers really suck at it is they're not being themselves. Somebody at some point taught them they got to be this super slick, polished salesman. Guys, I like to think I'm authentic. Just saying it's not enough. You actually have to be it. How do you be authentic? Be yourself. It's okay to have a script to understand how to deal with objectives and how to deal with problems when they come up. But if you're not being yourself, it's going to come across and you're going to seem fake, and you're more likely to churn off your sellers than get deals. This is a common myth in real estate. Do not be super polished, just like I'm doing right now. You've got to be you. I don't know about you, but I like to do business with people that are actually themselves and they're comfortable in their own skin. Please take this to heart. Be authentic. Be yourself. If you're trying to be somebody else, it's not going to work, because you know what? You're not that other person. Guys, be authentic. It's probably the number one reason why I've been able to last over 19 years. So number 10, be authentic. Number 9, forcing a deal. Making a deal work. Using words like this should be alarms going off in your head. Sometimes you meet with a seller and the deal just doesn't work. Sometimes the property is just in such disarray and the seller's ambitions for what they need to get, they just don't work. Sometimes when you're this far apart and you want to be this close, the gap's so wide, the only thing that's going to fix it is time. You sitting there constantly talking over and over to your customer how you want to make the deal work is not going to make it work. If you use word, let me try to make the deal, let me see if I can figure it out, let me see if I can, maybe I'll do creative financing with you. Sometimes deals just don't work. Sometimes the house is just so butt ugly and in the wrong neighborhood and they want too much money. It just doesn't work. It doesn't mean you don't have the ability to do the deal. It just means you're going to have to circle back, do a lot of follow-up. But if you sit there for 1 hour and try to make and force it, you're just going to wear yourself out. You're going to wear your seller out. And that's a hint. Try, let's make, spending endless amounts of time getting frustrated. Move on to the next deal. Put them in your follow-up. Guys, do not try to force a deal. You can't make a real estate deal happen. Either the numbers work or they don't. Don't try to make it work. Moving on to number 8. Real estate is a people-first business. End of story. Yes, we are acquiring real estate. We're wholesaling real estate. That's what we do. But so many of you out there suck at wholesaling real estate because you focus on the real estate. What do I mean by that? The comps, the pictures, the numbers. The reality is real estate is nothing more than a symptom of a person's problems, people's problems. If somebody lost their job, if there's a death of a loved one, if there's a major catastrophic storm or something like that, the real estate is just a symptom of the overall problem. Sometimes it's financial, sometimes it's health. If you focus on the people first and stop trying to run constant comps, talk about the real estate, and really get down to the root of the problem, you'll understand it's a people business. It doesn't mean you ignore the real estate, but the people really have to come first. If you can connect with people and make it work, it's much easier to make a wholesale real estate deal or any type of real estate. So people first business, that is number 8. Number 7, calculator chaos. That's right. Calculator chaos, what is it? Simply, calculator chaos means if you have to pull out a calculator and doing what I'm doing where you have to just constantly sit here and crunch numbers, you're paying too much. I'm sorry, guys. I've been doing this 19 years. If I have to sit here for 30 minutes on a calculator, I know I'm paying too much. So what I want you to do is just take a piece of paper and a pen. And if the numbers work, great. When you're wholesaling real estate, you should be buying it at a discount and you should be solving the seller's problem. If you have to sit here and crunch and do calculator chaos, you will be killed in this business. I see so many wholesalers, they suck for this reason alone. I have never ever pulled out a calculator doing a wholesale deal. Remember, wholesaling, you're buying at a discount and selling it to someone who wants to pay you more for the property. How you take it down, that's up to debate. But when you ever have to pull out a calculator, in my opinion, you're in trouble. Take the warning. In 19 years, every time I've had to pull out a calculator on a single family home, duplex, triplex, whatever you want to call it, townhome, condo, I know in my gut I've paid too much. So you should have plenty of room to make the deal work. So calculator chaos, guys, that's a big one at number 7. Number 6, one of the main reasons why wholesalers suck at wholesaling real estate is they stop thinking like a seller. What do I mean by that? What you have to do is put yourself in the shoes of a seller. How do I do that? Well, think about when you bought a home. Think about whenever you've had a financial struggle. Think about when your health declined or your grandmother health was ailing. What happened with the real estate? Who did they sell it to? How did they deal with it? How did you evaluate the house? Did you go to Zillow? What did you do? Did you talk to real estate agents? Think like a seller. You should know what your seller's thinking before you present even a solution to them. You should have an idea. So the more you think about it, the more you can figure out the typical objections that's going to come out, and your success is going to be through the roof. So many people think from the investor side, and it's the wrong way to wholesale real estate. If you think like a seller, use the tools the sellers are using, Zillow's, online searches, Trulio, whatever it is, talking to real estate agents, you'll get a good idea. So thinking like a seller, number 6. Number 5. Okay. We've already talked about being authentic. That goes with this entire line of thinking. Number 5, be a problem solver. My God, we are simply solving problems. If you do not have a problem to solve, you are nothing more than a retail buyer to the seller. If you can't solve a problem, you are a speculator and a retail buyer. Bottom line, if there's no problem to solve there, financial, health, speed, ease of transaction, you're in no position to get a wholesale real estate deal. I see so many wholesalers trying to make deals work where they're just trying to buy the property and not solve a problem. What you need to do to be wildly successful at wholesaling real estate is create win-win situations. Hey, Mr. Seller, what I'll do is I can get you $100,000 for the property, and I can do it in X amount of days, and then you can move on and you can go ahead and move up to Tennessee and be with your family and move into your condo, your trailer, whatever. Maybe they're trying to downgrade. Maybe they're trying to upgrade. Solve the problem. If you don't know what the problem is, you can't solve it. And take heed to the warning. If there's no problem there, you will not get a great wholesale real estate deal. Guys, so many people miss this. If there's no problem to solve, you can't create win-win situations, then you do not have a wholesale real estate deal. So let's move on to number 4. One of my favorites. Guys, I know this sounds basic, but the reality, this is the truth. These are the 10 things that make wholesalers suck at this game. Number 4, listening. So many wholesalers just want to brag, and I do X amount of deals and everybody knows me. Guys, the seller does not care. They want to know that you're listening to your problem. Have you ever talked to someone and feel like they're not listening to you? It pisses you off, and it really pisses your seller off. Remember, they've invited a stranger into their home, probably off of some sort of marketing piece, whatever you used, and you get one shot to make a first impression. Whenever I want to get my point across something, I want to make sure the other side is listening, okay? God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. I believe he or she did it for a reason, and heed the warning. Listen, it is probably the number 1 skill set that we often overlook, that all you have to do is listen and pay attention. It doesn't mean tune them out. Listen to them, take the data in, and use your skills to problem solve. Remember, now you're thinking like a seller. They're telling you the issues that are coming at you, and you got to take subtle clues. And by the way, sometimes sellers don't always tell you the truth right off the bat, but the more they talk, the more the truth is going to come out and the more you can solve a problem. So guys, listen, use your ears. You have 2 ears, 1 mouth. I mean, it's so basic, but it's often the most overlooked piece. And that's why a lot of wholesalers really suck at this business. So Guys, listen up. There's nothing better than a great listener. Skill sets, if you want to have people listen to you a little bit better, have them repeat back some of the finer points of the conversation. You'll figure out real quick if they're not listening. If they're not listening, they're not interested, they can't help you out. And that is one of the reasons sellers often move on to the next wholesaler, the next agent, whatever it is. So let's use our listening skills right here. Okay, let's go in the top 3 here. Number 3 is a big pet peeve of mine is don't be a real estate agent. Or Rick, I'm a wholesaler. I wholesale real estate. Yeah, but the reality is a lot of you guys act and think like a real estate agent. What do I mean by that? Well, you're doing showings. You're spending endless amount of time with buyers, constantly working with buyers. And then here's my real pet fee is you're collecting tiny little fees. Guys, if you got into wholesaling and you're collecting $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 checks, in my opinion, $4,000 or $5,000 checks on a constant, consistent basis by doing showings, by constantly driving out to the properties, constantly talking to sellers, running endless amounts of comps, you're in essence a realtor. You just haven't accepted the title. Why would you sit there and earn $2,000 or $3,000? Listen, if you're just starting out and you're making your first $2,000 or $3,000, that's fine. I'm okay with it. But if you're learning and you're progressing, you cannot make $2,000 to $3,000 a deal doing a small amount of transactions and expect to survive being a wholesaler. In my opinion, you're a real estate agent if you're making $2,000 or $3,000 a deal. Why do I say that? Because on the typical house, at least in Florida, actually most of the southeast part of the United States, even on a $150,000 house, you got to understand 3%, that's $4,500. And they got no skin in the game. They're not responsible for buying the house, but you're sitting here telling your seller you're going to be able to buy the house, take down the transaction, put everything together, bring your buyers in, hit a target date for them, solve their problem, basically guaranteeing them, and you're only going to make $2,000 or $3,000. Guys, you could go be a realtor. It would probably be easier. It's a less sexy title, I know, but the reality is if you think like a real estate agent and you start collecting $2,000 and $3,000 paydays, your psychology is going to be, that's my worth level. That's what I expect to do. Guys, you are not a wholesale person. You're not even a real estate investor if you're collecting those small fees. There's no way we put up with the amount of stuff we do in our business to collect $2,000 or $3,000. Don't mix that up. If you're doing your first deal and that's what you got to do to learn and get through the business, I'm fine with it. The problem is 6 months down the road, a year down the road, 5 years down the road, you're still collecting these small transaction fees. You might want to consider being a real estate agent because you would actually probably make more money and you would have less skin in the game. So that's enough on the real estate agent. And guys, stop sitting there going over comps with your sellers. That's what real estate agents do. You don't want to do that. You want to solve problems. So number 2, stop lying. My God, why do people lie? You can be authentic and tell the truth. I know in today's age, that's a shocking revelation. So you're saying, Rick, I'm just starting out wholesaling. And by the way, I started out doing exactly what you did 19 years ago. Just stop lying. You know why? Because if you don't lie, you don't have to constantly try to figure out what you said before. It's really easy to tell the truth when you don't lie, right? So if you're starting out and you don't know the answer, say an issue comes up, well, my mom passed away. I don't know how to do a probate. Well, don't say, oh yeah, I know probates and I'll get it all done and just say, that's great. I tell you what, I have a title company I work with, which you should already have a relationship with them. I have a probate attorney I work with them. Let me get that information and let me check with them. And can I call you tomorrow at like noon and we can go over it, or I'll come back here, we'll come back over it. And if you're comfortable, we can move forward. Guys, if you don't know the answer, that's fine. I don't want you to be the lawyer. I don't want you to be the title company. Heck, I don't want you to be a real estate agent. I want you to go solve problems. Nobody solves a problem all by themselves. So the idea is you network with people, you get alliances people with your networking group, and they want to help you succeed and solve. But the worst thing you can do is say, absolutely, I can do that. I can do that. If somebody needs cash for a deal very quickly and you don't have it, don't lie to your seller. I'm just telling you, there's better ways. I know you think, well, I'm going to lose the deal to someone else. No, you're not. Be authentic. Go align yourself. Partner up with someone. Get a JV with someone that knows what they're doing to get the money and get through the transaction. Lying to people, once you start doing it, it's like a drug and you can't stop doing it and you'll hate yourself in the long run. And you don't want to do this business. You start lying to people, you hate it. That's why I've been doing this for 19 years. I don't lie. So You can still save the deal and keep it going. And as you learn, if you need an out and you don't know the answer, just tell them, listen, let me check with my partner. Let me check with my attorney. Let me check with my title company. And I want to get you an accurate answer. I owe it to you. And use that as a follow-up technique later that day or the next day to get your contract signed. But I'm telling you, lying is the fastest way to get you in trouble. And it's why most wholesalers suck at real estating. I don't know why people need to lie. Just tell the frickin' truth. So let's move on to number one. I know you guys are waiting with huge anticipation. I'll do my little drum roll here. Guys, if you pay a big, fat, giant fee to a coach, guru, whatever you want to call them, I don't care. It will not guarantee your success. Actually, a lot of times when you do it, you think by paying that fee, I don't know if it's 5 grand, 7 grand, 10 grand, 20 grand, I've solved the problem. Like I've bought a product to solve it. Actually, they're going to put it back on you. You're going to have to go out and hustle. You're going to have to spend your own money on the marketing. You're going to have to make phone calls, cold calls. They're going to put the pressure on you. So I'm telling you right now, if you watch broadcasts like this, I can share with you the information. You can learn from Zach. We're in a new age, guys. No longer just paying a guru guarantees the success, especially in wholesaling real estate. And a lot of times you're going to find out these people don't even actually do the business. They're completely out of tune and they're teaching you tips and tricks they used in the past. If they're not active in the business, there's probably a reason. It's because their business is coaching, collecting fees from you, and turning and burning as fast as you can. Don't fall victim to it, guys. Go out and educate yourself. Get your first deal. A lot of it's hustle and grind. These tips right here, I probably paid over $100,000 in the last 10 years just to share them with you. Guys, learn from me. It's free. We're in an entirely different world. The age of information is available to everybody. Align yourself. Honestly, I don't care if you use me or not, but here at Flip with Rick, I'm all about being authentic. I've been doing this 19 years. I love this business. I've taught it to my son. You guys saw he started at 17. There is a reason. You're going to have to put in the hard work. Paying the fee, if you pay attention and you do everything you can and you know you got the right person, it will probably give you a head start. But in the end, you're still going to have to do the work. It does not guarantee your success. So guys, heed the warning with it. I know I've used that word a lot this time, but these are the top 10 reasons why most wholesalers suck at wholesaling real estate. And if you can just take these 10 tips here and apply them and just use my wisdom on it, I will promise you, you will have success. You will be so much better off out the gate. And that's it, guys. These are the top 10 reasons why most wholesalers suck at real estate. Wholesaling, guys, if you like what you heard here, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you have a comment on this video, tell me what you think. Guys, it's the truth. I'm being authentic with you. Rarely will people tell you exactly what you need to avoid the pitfalls. In my 19 years experience, use these 10 tips, become a wildly successful real estate investor, start out wholesaling real estate, whatever you need to do. Guys, I wish you the best success in the world. Hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.